test run. You made my day. To perfect. To be in the middle of something. I'm in the middle of something right now. And to shoot over an email. These are 5 expressions that I used this week, and we're going to look at these in this video. Let's go. First, a test run. A test run is used when you're experimenting with something, right? You want to do a trial, and that's what it is, really a trial run, a practice run of something. So, for example, this week, my friend and I had a conversation about he's trying out something new for his business. And he said, we ran a few test runs before we decided to go with it. We ran a few test runs before we decided to go with it. And notice the verb that goes with test run. Typically it's run, or you can say do, to do a test run, to have a test run. And I know you have like the ran and run, but you know, that's the way language goes sometimes, doesn't it? Anyway, that was weird. To have a test run. I'll need you to have a few test runs, and it's accountable now. I'll need you to have a few test runs before you bring your final presentation, right? It's used in business and science, obviously, and obviously in regular conversation. So it's a good one for adults and business people to learn. And if you have any sorts of relationships in English. Let's get into the next one. The next expression is, you made my day. You made my day. And this means when you make somebody's day, you make them very happy, right? It's kind of a shortened way to say, you made my day great, right? You made my day great. But instead of saying great, we just say, you made my day. You made my day. And it's a very big compliment. It's something great to say. It's even greater to hear. Oh, thank you for that. You made my day. And I actually said this to a student because she had sent me a very nice compliment and some very nice words on my Facebook page in a DM. And I said, thank you for the encouraging messages. You just made my day. You just made my day. And I want to stress how big of a compliment this is, because when you make somebody's day, they're saying it's a very, very big thank you. And another way that you may have heard this is a common movie quote by Clint Eastwood in Dirty Harry. Go ahead, make my day. Does that sound familiar? I don't know. Some of you younger students may not remember that. Students from my generation or older definitely remember it, right? So put this in your repertoire, put this in your vocabulary, and start saying this when someone does something great for you. To perfect here, I want to stress 2 things. I want to stress that maybe you've heard something is perfect, and you've said something is perfect, which is an adjective. This is a verb. And the different pronunciations of each. So we have perfect. That's the adjective. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you. Right? Perfect. But the verb is perfect. Perfect. Let's practice that a little bit. And here's how I like to tell my students to practice it. I want you to take your finger and go up on the stress. Okay? So perfect. The adjective. Perfect. That's perfect. Right? Next, the verb. To perfect. 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 The stress goes up on the end. Perfect. The adjective. Perfect. 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 And even to, add to even help you. to perfect, to perfect. That help? Let me know. And in context, it was actually in a podcast, in a Joe Rogan podcast, when he was interviewing Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'll put the link below. I might even put it up here. And they were talking about space, obviously. And he said, Galileo perfects the telescope. Notice he uses the simple tense here, but he can, because in storytelling, even if it's the past, you can use present tense to be more engaging with the student, right? To grab their attention, right? Perfects. Galileo perfects, because you're putting your listener back to that time, right? And you might do this in your language too. Actually, let me know below in your language if you can play around with the verb tenses and you say present tense when telling a past story, right? Last week, I went to the shop and I walk into the door and you'll never guess who I see. I see Barack Obama sitting there buying a pair of trousers. I said, trousers for you British students. So you can play around with tense for stories. But coming back to the pronunciation, Galileo perfects. Galileo perfects the telescope. Galileo perfects the telescope. Practice the pronunciation and practice it with your body. There's something about syncing up your body and your voice. It really helps. I found a lot of success in my classes with my students. So check it out and let me know how it goes. Next. To be in the middle of something. To be in the middle of something means you're busy doing something, right? So I'm in the middle of shooting this video, for example. You're in the middle of watching this video. You may be in the middle of doing several different things. When I watch YouTube videos, a lot of the times I'll be cooking. So I'm in the middle of cooking and listening, right? Or I'll be cleaning. So I'm in the middle of cleaning and listening to this or that. To be in the middle of something is literally, if you have this action that you're doing, you're somewhere doing it at the same time, right? You're busy doing something. And this came up actually in a text, in a WhatsApp text with a friend. Actually, my friend is Luke Kim. If you're Korean, you may know his channel, Luke Look English. I'll put that below too. I'll also put that up there. But he said in our chat, are you in the middle of something? Do you have time for a chat now? So he used it as a question, right? Are you in the middle of something? That means, do I have time, right? If I'm in the middle of something, don't bother chatting. But do you have time to chat now? So this is something you can use. This was used actually in context in a WhatsApp message. Next, and finally, to shoot over an email. To shoot over an email. And I want to stress that obviously it means to send an email, right? And it's kind of a more informal, like relaxed kind of feel, right? So when you shoot over an email, it's the same as saying send, but it's a little more lighthearted and informal, right? And you know that business in America is kind of informal in emails, right? I see many emails from students who are business people who deal with business in the United States. You don't want to start out your email conversation super informal, but follow their style. This is what I suggest. Follow their style and go as formal or informal as they are around, right? If they're saying shoot over an email, it means that it's kind of like a relaxed feel. In context, this week I saw a video on actually digital marketing, creating landing pages, really like digital business, the digital business world. It was a speech at a conference. I'll put that in the description box below. If you're a business person or selling anything or selling a service online, I highly recommend it. There was a lot of valuable information in that speech. I'll put that below with the title. He was helping out the audience, actually. And he said, if you contact me, I'll shoot you over an email. And note, shoot over, it's a phrasal verb too, right? Because they're over there, you're shooting over, right? I will shoot you over an email to give you the marketing template, right? So the person asked a question and he said that in response. So these are the 5 expressions that came to mind and that I wanted to share with you this week. These are expressions that really came up in conversation, and I've told you where each one came from. So they're used in real life situations. They're very valuable and they will help you a lot. If you like this video, even a little bit, then click that subscribe button below and also click the like button and click the bell so you can be notified next time we have a lesson. Also, there's another video for you to check out below me if you're still not sure. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.